I'm live. Where are my people? Where are my people? Come in, guys. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. Where are my people? Come on, guys. Where are you? Hello. Good evening. Thanks for joining me. You're welcome to my life. Thanks for joining. Please say hi and let me know where you're watching from. Norma, good evening. Thanks for joining. I have 5 people here already. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. Please let me know where you're watching from. Say hi, let me know where you're watching from, and please double tap on the screen, okay, so that the live can be pushed out. Good evening, Norma. Normal. Is that your name? Your real name? Thanks for joining. And let me know where you're watching from, okay? Thanks for joining. Please double tap on your screen. Double tap on your screen, okay? Double tap on the screen, okay? Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up so that YouTube can push this live out. Thanks for joining. And let me know where you're watching from. Hey, Redo. I'm fine, thank you. And you? Hi, Holly. Good evening. Thank you for joining my live. Please double tap on the screen, please. Give me a like. Give me a like, okay? Give me a like, okay? Thanks for joining, Redo. You're from where? Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Where are you from? Where are you from? Please, guys, double tap on the light on the screen, please. Double tap on the screen, okay? and let me know where you're watching from. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. So today's live, the topic I'll be discussing today is all we need to know about baking. All we need to know about baking. Yes. Well, let me give a brief introduction. I am Loveling and this is Sunshine Yummy Treats. Okay. I'm a Nigerian and I'm in Nigeria. I live in Nigeria, Delta State, Nigeria. Thank you. Where are you from? Where are you from? Thank you for joining my live. So like I said, I'll be discussing about all we need to know about baking. All we need to know about baking. Today's live is going to be a class session, a learning section for us today in this live, okay? So I will appreciate it if you come with your pen and paper so that you can jot down some things, but you're going to learn. You're going to learn from today's topic, okay? And my channel is all about cooking and baking. So tonight we'll be discussing all we need to know about baking. All we need to know about baking. That's the topic for tonight. Thank you for joining. Please, when you join, double tap on the screen and let me know where you're watching from. Thank you. This is Sunshine Yummy Treats, and this channel is all about baking and cooking. Okay. So tonight, our topic for tonight is all about baking. All we need to know about baking. All we need to know about baking. So baking is both an art and science. Baking is both an art and science, in the sense that it involves the preparation of food through dry heat. It involves the preparation of food through dry heat, typically in an oven. Okay, please do me a favor. If you're following me, just drop the key points you're getting from this. You'll be getting from this section. Please let me know you are with me, you're following me. Okay, so I said baking is both an art and science, in the sense that it involves the preparation of food through dry heat, typically in an oven. And I'll be giving out comprehensive overview about the key aspects of baking. And we'll be looking at, the first one we'll be looking at is the basic ingredients. What are the basic ingredients you'll be needing in baking? What are the basic ingredients? Then we'll also be talking about the baking techniques. We'll be talking about the basic techniques. We'll also be talking about some baking problems. Some baking problems that you might encounter when baking. Then also types of baked goods. Then we'll also be talking about some of the basic equipment which you would need as a baker or as you bake. Okay, some of the baking equipment which you would need. Then also, I'll also be telling you about some of the tips for a successful baking. Then some of the baking technologies. And the last key aspect I'll be pointing at and looking at here will be experimentation and being creative. Okay, so like I said, today's topic is all we need to know about baking. all we need to know about baking. So the first one is the basic ingredients. What are the basic ingredients which you will be needing as a baker? What are the basic ingredients you'll be needing? The first and the most common one is the flour. That is the number one ingredient, the flour. The flour is the most common and the top ingredients you'll be needing for baking. And it's also the foundation of most baked goods. You cannot bake anything, you cannot do anything baking without flour. Hi, MK Arena is here. Hello, MK, good evening. Thanks for joining my live. I'm glad to have you here. I'm really happy to see you here. Thanks for joining. Thank you for joining me. MK, please, how do I give someone blue jacket, sorry. Can you help me? How do I give someone a blue jacket? Because I need to give a blue jacket. I'm happy seeing you here in my life. So my topic tonight is all you need to know about baking. All you need to know about baking. And I said baking is both an art and science. Okay. Baking is both an art and science, in the sense that it involves the preparation of food through dry heat, typically in an oven. We'll also be looking comprehensively at some of the key aspects of baking. And now I'm talking about the basic ingredients. The basic ingredients you'll be needing in baking. And the first one is flour. The first one is flour. You cannot do anything, you cannot bake anything without flour, because it's the foundation of most baked goods. And we have different types of flour. We have the all-purpose flour, which is the most common one. Tap on the middle parts of the items found on your phone. The middle parts, okay? That one is telling me to start a pool. MK is telling me to start a pool. Okay. Moderation, community moderation. Changes you make to these settings will appear to my across. For this video, leave comments. Click on it, then add, click on standard. Okay. Just that. MK, before you do it, click on the person's name. Okay, as in before I go there, I should click on the person's name. Okay. Add as moderator. Okay, add as moderator. Sorry guys, I'm coming on. Add as moderator. Standard moderator. Okay. Okay, I think it's done, MK. Yes, I think it's done. Okay, I can see it now. Thank you so much, MK. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much, MK. I'm glad having you here. I'm really glad seeing you here. So like I was saying, So the number one ingredient, basic ingredients you'll be needing for any baking is the flour. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. I appreciate. So the number one ingredient is the flour. So the number one ingredient is the flour. Okay, and we have different types of flour. We have different types of flour. We have the all-purpose flour. We have the cake flour. Okay, wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, MK. I really appreciate this. I appreciate your time here. Thank you. So we have different types of flour. We have the all-purpose flour. We have the cake flour. We have the bread flour, and we also have the wheat flour. Okay. And the next ingredient is the sugar. Sugar is a sweetener. Sugar is one of the sweeteners. It adds sweetness to your baked products, and it also affects the texture and color of your baked products, especially when you're using the brown sugar. Especially when you're using the brown sugar. Okay, the topic for tonight is all we need to know about baking. Baking 101. All we need to know about baking. Okay, that's the topic for our live tonight. And I said that baking is both an art and science, which involves the preparation of food through dry heat, typically in an oven. And now I'm talking about the basic ingredients we'll be needing for baking. The first one I said is the flour, and the second one is the sugar. Sugar is a sweetener. You all know that. Yes, sugar is a sweetener. It adds sweetness to your product, and it also affects the texture and the color of your baked goods, especially when you are using the brown sugar. Especially when you are using the brown sugar. And we have different types of sugar. We have the granulated sugar. Okay, done, MK. It's done. Thank you so much. Thank you for helping me out here. All right. So the second ingredient I talked about is the sugar. Sugar adds sweetness to your baked products, and it also affects the color and the texture. Thank you so much, MK. And it also affects the color and the texture of your baked products. Okay, especially when you are using the brown sugar. And I said we have different types of sugar. We have the granulated sugar. We have the powdered sugar, which is the icing sugar. Then we also have the brown sugar. Then the next ingredient is fats. Fats. This includes the butter. It includes the margarine. It also includes oil that you use in your baking. And all these adds moisture. All these fats adds moisture and flavor, then tenderness to your baked products. Fats adds moisture, tenderness, and flavor to your baked products. And the next ingredient is the leavening agent. Please, if you're just joining us here, double tap on the screen, okay? And let me know where you're watching from. Say hi to me. Let me know where you're watching me from. Thanks for joining. So the next ingredient is the leavening yeast. This includes your baking powder. You have your baking powder, you have your baking soda, and you also have the yeast under these leavening agents. All this helps your product to rise by producing gas. Thank you so much for joining, okay? Thanks for joining my live tonight. This is Sunshine Yummy Treats and the face behind Sunshine Yummy Treats, okay? So the next ingredient is the egg. The egg. Egg provides moisture and richness to your baked goods. Egg. MK, thank you so much. Hi, sweet mom, sweat mom, okay. Hi, from Benue. Wow, thank you for joining my live. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. Thanks so much. So my topic tonight, as you can see on your screen there, is all we need to know about baking. And I started by saying baking is an art and science because it involves the preparation of food through dry heat, which is the oven, using the oven. And now I'm talking about the basic ingredients you'll be needing for your baking. The first ingredient I talked about is the flour. Flour is the topmost ingredient you'll be needing for your baking because you cannot do anything, you cannot bake anything without the flour. So it's the foundation of any baked product. And I said that we have different types of flour. We have the all-purpose flour, which is the most common. We have the bread flour, we have the cake flour, and we also have the wheat flour. And the next ingredient is the sugar. Sugar is a sweetener. Sugar is a type of sweetener. It adds sweetness to your products, to your baked products. And depending on the type you're using, it also affects the color of your baked products. And the types of sugar we have the brown sugar, we have the granulated sugar, and we have the powdered sugar, which is the icing sugar. Then the next ingredient is the fats. The next ingredient is the fats. Let's connect, guys. The next ingredient is fats. This includes the butter you're using for your baking, the margarine and oil, any of them that you use. These are all under fats. And the fats here provides tenderness. It provides tenderness and moisture to your baked products. And the next ingredient is the leavening agents. The leavening agents, which are your baking powder, baking soda, and your yeast. All this helps your baked goods to rise. All this helps your baked products to rise by producing gas. By producing gas. And the next ingredient is the egg. Egg provides moisture and richness to your baked goods, and it also acts as a leavening agent also. Egg provides richness to your baked products. Thank you very much. I hope you're with your pen and paper. Okay, so egg provides richness, gives your baked products the richness that you want in your baked products. Then the next one is your liquid. You must use liquid for your baking, either water Okay, thanks very much. Either water or milk. All these are liquid. Then the next ingredient is your flavorings. Your flavorings is very, very important for you to use flavors in your baking. You can decide to use spices, you can use fruits, you can also use nuts and also extracts like your vanilla flavors and any other fruit flavors. You can use them to add flavor and texture to your baked products. Okay. Now, the next key aspects I'll be talking about in baking is the baking techniques. The baking techniques. And the first one here is the mixing method. The mixing method. The mixing method. Here we have the creaming method. This involves beating your butter and egg together until it becomes light and fluffy. Beating creaming method involves beating your butter and sugar together until it becomes light and fluffy. And this method is usually used when making cake. When you're making cake. It's usually used when you are making cake. Then the next method under the baking technique is kneading method. The kneading method. This means working the dough to develop gluten, and this is very important for bread. You know, when making bread, you have to knead your dough. You have to knead your dough. Okay, you cannot make bread without kneading the dough. It's very, very important. Then the next method is the folding method. This is the gently combining of ingredients to retain air. This is the gently combining of ingredients to retain air. And this method is often used for whipped cream. It's often used for whipped cream and your egg whites. Okay, and your egg whites. Then the next technique here is measuring, your measurements. Measurements. Taking accurate measurements of your ingredients for your baking is very, very crucial. It's very, very crucial, okay? Taking accurate measurements for your baking is very, very crucial. You can do this by using the kitchen scale. As a baker, you need to have the kitchen scale. Or for someone that wants to bake, it's advisable for you to use the kitchen scale. We also have the measuring cups and measuring spoons. It's very, very important for you to have these tools for you to have an accurate measurement so that you don't end up making what even you cannot eat. Okay, so the next technique is the baking temperatures. The baking temperatures. Please, if you're just joining, this is Sunshine Yummy Treats. Sunshine Yummy Treats. And the topic we are discussing is pinned on the screen there. Please let me know where you're watching from, and please double tap on my image on your screen, okay, to give me a like. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time here. So I said the next technique is the baking temperature. Preheating the oven. Preheating your oven for the required temperature before baking is very, very important. It ensures even cooking. Preheating your oven for the required temperature before you bake is very, very important. It's very, very important for you to have an even baking. Okay. Also, different recipes require different temperature. Different recipes require different temperature. Usually, it's advisable to preheat your oven for like 10 to 15 minutes before baking. Now, the next key aspect in baking is the type of baked goods. The types of baked goods. We have the bread, we have the cake, we have cookies, we have pastries. We have the different, we have pastries, and we also have the muffins. Okay, please, if you're following me from the beginning, please, I want you to drop some of the key points you took or you've been taking from what I've been saying all this while. Okay, network is trying to do me something here. So we have the bread, we have the cake, we have pastries, we have cookies, and we have the muffins. So now we'll be discussing, let me know you're here with me and I'm not talking to myself. So the next aspect I'll be talking about is the common problems you can or you might encounter while baking. And the first one here is dense or heavy texture. Dense or heavy texture. This is usually caused by overmixing. This is usually caused when you overmix your batter. In my last live stream, when I discussed about the essential tips and tricks for a successful baking, I talked about it, that you shouldn't overknead or you shouldn't overmix your batter or overknead your dough. So, and also too much liquid can cause you to have a dense baked goods or heavy texture, or not enough leavening agents like your baking soda, your baking powder, or your yeast. Then the next problem you can or you might encounter is flat or sunk baked goods. Flat or sunk baked goods. This usually happens as a result of underbaking. It usually happens as a result of underbaking and using too much leavening agents. When you add too much baking powder or too much baking yeast, too much baking soda or yeast, and the likes of them. Then the next problem that you can encounter is uneven baking. Uneven baking. This happens when you use the incorrect oven temperature you're supposed to use. When you use the wrong oven temperature for your baking. Okay? When you use the wrong oven temperature for your baking. Then the next aspect I'll be talking about here in baking is the baking equipment. What are the basic things, the basic tools or equipment you'll be needing for your baking? What are the basic equipment that you'll be needing? Of course, number one is your oven. You need an oven. You need an oven for your baking. You need that dry heat to cook whatever you want to bake which is the oven. Then the next one is oven thermometer. Oven thermometer. The oven thermometer helps you to take accurate temperature. It helps you to have accurate temperature of your oven. Accurate temperature of your oven. Then the next one is your mixing bowls. You need mixing bowls for you to mix and combine your ingredients. You will need your bowls to do that. Then the next one is your measuring cups. You will need measuring cups and your measuring spoons to take accurate measurements of your ingredients, so that at the end of the day you will not end up having too much sugar or too much butter or too much baking powder in your baked products. Okay, so you need to have your measuring equipment like your kitchen scale, your baking cups and baking spoons. Let me show you example of your baking cups and spoons. So guys, this is an example of your measuring cups. This is an example of your measuring cup. It comes in different sizes. We have different sizes of the baking cups, and this is one of the sizes of the spoons. We have different sizes of the measuring spoons. I just showed you the types of measuring cups I'm talking about, and it comes in different sizes. And this is the measuring spoon. It comes in different sizes also. This is very, very important. It's very, very important for you to have an accurate measurement, okay? For you to have an accurate measurement. Then the next one is your baking pans. Your baking pans. The pans comes in different sizes, different shapes, and all that. Just have a good baking pan that will not burn your baked products or make your baked products to stick to the pan. So get a good one. Then the next one is your cooling racks. You need a cooling rack. This helps your baked goods to cool completely. This helps your baked goods to cool completely. Okay? This helps your baked goods to cool completely. And now I'll be talking about the tips for a successful baking. The tips for a successful baking. If you were here in my last stream, last live, I talked about the tips and tricks for successful baking. And the first one I talked about is reading the recipe thoroughly. It's very, very essential for you to read the recipe of whatever you're about to make, so that you understand that recipe, understand every step of it. And also it helps you to get all the necessary ingredients you'll be needing for for whatever you want to bake. Okay, that is that. So if you're not in my live stream, I will please ask you to check my channel, and you see the last stream there, and go through it and watch it for you to get the tricks and the tips for a successful baking. So the next one here I'll be talking about is the baking technologies. The baking technologies. If you're close to a baker, or if you're a baker here, you will agree with me that there are some terms you use when baking, when talking about baking. When you're making a cake, baking a cake, there are some terms you use when baking. That is what I'm about to explain here, to talk about here. The first one is the bake, to bake. To bake, which is to cook. Which is to cook. Then the next one is blind baking. Blind baking. Blind baking. This means pre-baking a pie crust without any filling inside. When you bake a pie crust without any filling inside, that is called blind baking. You don't add any filling, you just bake. You just baked something, that's just it. You just baked your dough like that, okay? Then the next one is creaming. Already I talked about creaming. And it means beating your butter and your sugar together until it becomes light and fluffy. Until it becomes light and fluffy. That is creaming. Then we also have kneading. We also have folding. There are lots of them. We have folding. We have whipping. Whipping. That is when you mix, you combine your egg whites, especially the egg whites, or your whipped cream. When you're combining, mixing them, that is the whipping, okay? Then we also have sifting, okay? When you filter, when you use a sieve, this is a sieve, okay? You use it to sieve your dry ingredients like your flour, your baking powder, your powdered milk. You do this to remove any debts or clumps in it, okay? It helps you to remove debts or clumps from your baking powder or your dry ingredients. And the next one is fermentation. Fermentation. This is a process whereby yeast is converted. Your yeast is converted to sugar. Your yeast is converted. You convert your yeast, okay, to sugar, which helps your dough to rise. Okay? And the next key aspect I'll be talking about here is experimentation and creativity. After learning all the process of baking, the next thing for you to do is to experiment, to practice all what you have learned, to practice, to put that skill into action. That is to experiment, and to be creative with your ingredients, with your flavors. When you use different spices, different flavors, okay, that is you being creative, okay? So once you become comfortable with the basic recipes and the techniques, you have to feel free to experiment with flavors. You have to feel free to experiment with flavors. Sorry about that. You have to experiment with your flavors, your ingredients, and designs. You just have to be creative, okay? So if you're just joining me here, if you're not here when I started, can you please let me know in the comment section? Okay? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section. MK, are you still here? Let me know in the comment section. And if you have any question for me, if you have any question regarding the topic for tonight, let me know. Just drop it in the comments. Drop it in the comments. Let me know you are following me. Okay? It's really hot here. Today's topic is all we need to know about baking. All we need to know about baking. All we need to know about baking. Baking is not just entering into the kitchen, getting your ingredients and you have to learn it. You have to learn it. You have to read through the recipe. You have to know what you are about to make. You have to know the steps, every steps that is involved in that product, in that baked goods that you are about to make. Okay? That is why it's both an art and science. Both an art and science. Okay? Both an art and science. And I said the number one basic ingredient you'll be needing is the flour. You cannot do anything without, you cannot bake anything without the flour. That's why it's the foundation of any baked product. That is why flour is the foundation of any baked product. If you're just joining us here, you are welcome to my life. This is Sunshine Yummy Treats, and this is the face behind Sunshine Yummy Treats. You are welcome to today's live. And the topic is all we need to know about baking. All we need to know about baking. Please just sorry guys, I needed to attend to something. Yes, it's really hot here. Don't mind me sweating. So if you're just joining us, this is Sunshine Yummy Treats, and I'm glad having you here with me in my life. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for giving me this your time. I really appreciate. Okay, so if you just joined, drop in the comment section where you're watching from, okay? And please double tap on your screen to give me a like. Thank you so much. So if you were here when I started, can you please tell me one of the basic ingredients you'll be needing for baking? One of the basic ingredients you'll be needing for baking. I'm waiting. Can you please tell me one of the basic ingredients you'll be needing for baking? One of the basic ingredients you'll be needing for baking. Is it that these people here, they were not here when I started? Hmm? You were not here when I started. Okay, can you tell me the topic of today's live? The topic that we are discussing today. Can you tell me the topic? I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Doesn't mean that you were not following me. Hello? 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 Am I here alone? Okay. Like what I said, to the topic is all we need to know about baking. All we need to know about baking. And I said some of the ingredients you'll be needing is or are one, the flour, which is the major ingredient. Then the sugar. We have the fats. The sugar acts as a sweetener to your baked goods. Then we have the sugar. We have the fats. This includes your butter, your margarine, and the oil. All these are fats. Then we have the leavening agents, which are your baking powder, your baking soda, and yeast. Then the next ingredient is the egg. Egg adds richness and moisture to your baked goods. Okay, then we also have the liquid, which is water or milk, but you cannot bake anything without adding liquid. It's either you're using water or milk, or you're using the both. Then we have flavors. We have flavors. Okay? Then some of the techniques I talked about is the mixing method. The mixing method. Under the mixing method, we have the creaming method, which involves beating your sugar and egg together. Beating your sugar and egg together until it becomes light and fluffy. Then we also have kneading. Kneading means working your dough to provide or to develop gluten, which is very, very important when you're making bread. When you are making bread, okay? Then we also have the folding method. This is combining your ingredients gently to retain air. And this method is often used for whipped cream and egg whites. Then we have the measuring, your measurements. Taking accurate measurements of your ingredients is very, very crucial. It's very, very important. It's very, very important for you to take accurate measurements of your ingredients, of whatever you use. It's a normal thing. Even when you're cooking, you need to be mindful of what you of what you add, of the ingredients you add, the quantity of the ingredients you add, so that you don't end up having adding too much sugar or too much salt or too much butter or too much liquid. Okay, that is why you need to have an accurate measurement of, okay, network. So I said preheating your oven before baking is very important. Usually you can preheat between 10 to 15 minutes depending on the recipe you are doing, depending on the recipe of the baked goods you are baking or making. Okay, then we have different types of baked goods. We have the bread, we have the cakes, we have the pastries, we have the cookies, and we have the muffins. Okay, we have muffins. And I said some of the problems you might encounter while baking is when you have dense or heavy baked goods or heavy texture. Hello, thanks for joining. Thank you for joining my live. I welcome you here. I appreciate your time here with me, okay? Please let me know where you're watching from. Hi, Ade. Hi, thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please double tap on your screen, okay? This is Sunshine Yummy Treats. This is Sunshine Yummy Treats. And the topic I'm discussing tonight is all we need to know about baking. Though you came late, because the life will be ending very soon. So baking is both an art and science because it involves, wow, watching from Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you so much. I'm streaming from Delta State also, Delta State. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate. I appreciate. Please, if you've not connected with me, if you've not subscribed to this channel, please do so, okay? Please do so. Show me some love by subscribing to my channel. Watch my videos, okay? Thank you so much. So I said baking is both an art and science because it involves the preparation of food through dry heat, typically in an oven. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. Please let me know where you're watching from, okay? It involves the preparation of food through dry heat. I'll be back. It involves the preparation of food through dry heat. And I'm also talking about the basic ingredients you'll be needing for baking. The basic ingredients you'll be needing for baking. And I said the first one and the most important of them all is the flour. Is the flour. You cannot do anything baking without the flour. Is the foundation of every baked goods or products. And we have the different types of flour. We have the all-purpose flour. We have the all-purpose flour. We have the wheat flour. We have the cake flour and the bread flour. But the all-purpose flour is the most common because you can use that for eventually everything. Okay, so the next ingredient is the sugar. You all know sugar is a sweetener. It adds sweetness to your baked goods. It also affects the color depending on the type of sugar you are using, especially when you're using the brown sugar. The brown sugar affects the color of your baked products, and it also affects the texture. And I said we have the granulated sugar, we have the powdered sugar, which is the icing sugar. Then we also have the brown sugar that I talked about. Then we have another ingredient is fats. Under this group, we have the butter, we have the margarine, and we have oil. All these are fats. They add tenderness. They add tenderness and moisture to your baked products. Another one I talked about is the leavening agents, which is your baking powder, your baking soda, and yeast. Your baking powder, baking soda, and yeast. Then the next ingredient I talked about is egg. Your eggs. Egg adds tenderness, it adds richness and moisture to your baked products. And it also acts as a leavening agent. Okay. Then the next ingredient is liquid. Under liquid, we have water, we have milk. You cannot bake without your milk or water or both. Okay. Then we have flavors. We have flavors. And I also talked about the baking techniques. I talked about the mixing. Under this, we have the mixing method. And under this mixing method, we have the creaming method, which is mixing, beating your butter and sugar together to make it light and fluffy. Then we have the kneading method, where you work your dough on a surface, on your work surface to develop gluten. And this is very important, especially when you're making bread. Then we have the folding method. The folding method, okay? This is a gentle combining of your ingredients to retain hair. To retain hair. Then another technique is your measurements. Take accurate measurements of your ingredients. It is very important. And you do this by using your kitchen scale, your measuring cups and spoons. I showed you. This is the measuring cups. It comes in different sizes, and we also have the spoons. Then the next technique is your baking temperature, which is preheating your oven to the required temperature before baking to ensure even cooking. Okay. So some of the basic equipment I talked about is number one, your oven. You need your oven. You cannot bake without your oven. You need your oven thermometer. You need your mixing bowls. You need your measuring cups and spoons. Then you also need baking pans or baking tray. Then you also need your baking racks to allow your baked goods cool completely. Okay. Then in your baking, in the world of baking, we have some baking technologies, some baking terms. We have the bake. We have bake blind. We have creaming. We have kneading. We have folding. And we have fermentation. Okay. And the last aspect, key aspect I talked about is experimentation and being creative. Experimentation and being creative. And I said, once you've become comfortable with the recipe, with the basic recipe and techniques, you should feel free to experiment with flavors, with your ingredients, and be creative. Feel free to do some designs. Feel free to be creative with your bakings. Okay, so thank you all for joining me in this live. Okay, and I believe by understanding these fundamentals, you can confidently explore the world of baking. Okay, whether you're trying to make just a simple loaf of bread or an elaborate cake. I believe you have learned one or two things from today's topic. Thank you so much for being here with me. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your time here. Okay. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you in my next life. Please subscribe to my channel if you've not done so. Turn on the post notifications so you'll be notified when I'm coming live. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's really hot here. It's really hot here. Thank you so much and see you in my next live. I love you. Bye. Thanks so much and see you in my next live. Okay, bye.